What is up, y'all? How you doing? What's happening? I'm just back home. I've got that energy, that wired and tired thing going on from like flying. I've been so like okay, so realness. So I lose all this weight, and I still have more weight to lose. I'm looking forward to the journey, etc. And it's still it's challenging because the uh, it's drastic. It's just like a drastic amount, and you go through it and you do your stuff. And anyways, so I've been sleeping with a CPAP, or it's actually a BiPAP machine for a long time, and that's the thing that prevents you from stopping breathing in the middle of the night because you're fat. You got all this neck fat, and you snore. And so I've been sleeping with one for years because I've been fat and I snore. And I just do. And so I lose the weight, and then because I've lost the weight, the pressure, like it's just like a BiPAP is like, so anybody who doesn't know, it's like it, it blows, like you put a face mask on or these nose pillowy things, and it covers you up, and it blows air into your nostrils. So it keeps the pathway clear. It's like so you can't snore, you can't go, you can't do it. But when the pressure is too high, you have uh, dryness in your face. So I've been having a lot of trouble sleeping lately because I just, well, first I can't sleep the night before a flight anyway, and I had a 6:15 pickup call this morning. So of course I got to the room at 10 and I didn't sleep until like 5 because I was going back and forth with my CPAP. CPAP usually gives the greatest sleep, like the greatest sleep ever. Once you've not been sleeping and snoring, and all of a sudden you put this thing on, you're like, this is magic. And you want to sleep forever. You get like 9, 10 hours, and then you don't anymore. And so when you don't anymore, it's because the pressure is too high because you've lost weight. So then it starts blowing your face off. So now the sensation you get is every hour you wake up and there's zero moisture in your whole face, and your face is like stuck in. You have no moisture. Your mouth, you're like, so you have to take water and pour it in your mouth to get it back to zero. And you're like, oh, so, but you're afraid to try to sleep because I have to go to my doctor and see if they need to adjust it or if I don't need it anymore or temporarily don't need it. It's like sleep apnea is obviously a lifelong thing, but if I've beaten it temporarily and I don't have to have like a snorkel on my face and I can sleep as well, hell yeah, I'm all for it. So I've been dealing with that. So I got that energy from doing it. Plus I had a weird, fun experience this morning. It was great. I have so much to tell you about the club this weekend. So I get up, well, before the club, I'll talk about that after. But like I get to the San Jose airport this morning, and I get there, and I go through security. San Jose, small airport. San Jose near Sunnyvale, wealthy area. All the tech people, a lot of people coming in and out. Fancy, I guess. So I walk in, and I go through security, and I get to the front, and I do my usual hi, how are you? And I make sure I check. I'm fine. I've traveled before. I've been on a plane, and I go through, and I'm waiting for my bag, and I'm early. I'm early this morning. I'm like an hour early because I want to have breakfast. I finished a fast of like 18 hours, and I was like, I'm gonna have some eggs. I fasted so I could have airport eggs at one of the restaurants, airport, like eggs and hash browns, doing all the cool things, right? So I get there, and I watch my bag go zoom and goes to the thing, and I'm just like, okay. And this guy comes over to me. He's like, "Morning, sir. Good morning." He's like, "Do you have any pepper spray in your bag?" No, I don't. Pauses, and he kind of gives me that like terse sort of like. He's like, "I'm gonna ask you again. You have any mace or any pepper spray in your bag right now?" No, I don't. I don't. No, sir, I don't. He's like, all right, final warning, sir. Final warning. You could face fines, secondary screening. Is there mace, pepper, or bear spray in your bag? I mean, and in my head, I'm thinking, I'm like, do you need some? Like, but I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't. I don't have any. I don't have any of those sprays you so desperately seem to be searching for. But I'm like, I don't have them. He's like, have it your way, sir. Have it my way? Have it my way. He's like, I'm going to ask my supervisor to come over and assist. I'm like, oh, great, cool. Um, and then like two more like official looking dudes come over, and they're like, all right, let's do this. Gloves on. And then I'm like, I'm early. Like I'm so early. Like I'm there. I'm not the guy. I'm not a confrontational person to authority. I'm not going to be a smart ass. I'm like, do your job, dude. I'd rather you find it if you can. I mean, if somebody snuck bear spray in my bag, I want to know. I want to get it. I don't want to get in trouble, because I can just throw it out. But I don't have it. I don't see a lot of bears in San Jose. Maybe in Santa Monica. Am I right? So the guy's like, okay, here we go. And he's like, is there anything sharp in here that could cut me? I was like, I don't think so. Because I don't know. I don't know what could cut him, right? And then they check my bag, and I have this bag it's a backpack, and it like opens up, and it's got zipper. It's got all the compartments. It's like the cargo pants of backpack. It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy. There's a lot of stuff. But so they go through it. They find Kleenex, eye drops, headphones, a couple asthma inhalers, and some pens. And after an extensive search, he's like, "You're all set. It was your eye drops." And without even thinking, it just shot out of my mouth so fast. The second he said, "It was your eye drops," I was like, "Well, it makes sense because I keep them just in case I get mace or bear or pepper sprayed." And the look this dude gave me was one of, I want to laugh, but I also want to tell you to fuck off, but not as much as I told him to fuck off by not telling him to fuck off. I was like, I just came out because I was in the zone, man. I was in the zone from doing 3 hours of stand-up. I have not done stand-up in so long. I have been complaining about stand-up, and I didn't want to do it, and I was tired of it because it's something I have done for 1 trillion years. And then we all hit the earth speed bump of COVID, and I just was like, I don't know. And then I just got lazy. I started doing the TV stuff, and then TV vanished, and no one's doing TV anymore. No one's staffing. No one's doing anything. I'm like, fine, I'll do stand-up. And in LA, what you need to know about Los Angeles comedy is Los Angeles comedy has so many great comedians and so few spots, and they play favorites. And who are they? The booker. Whoever the booker is at whatever club, you have your favorites. There's people who draw more people. And LA is a tourist town. So it's like a lot of people come into town to the Improv. Why do they come to the Improv? They want to see David Spade. They want to see all of the comedians who play there they want to see Bobby Lee. They want to see all of these different people. Not to take anything away from either one of those guys. They're both monsters. But those are like the type of people they're going to put at the Improv all the time. And the young people who are there hanging out. Like I used to hang out there all the time with my friend Jen Murphy, and we would go up all the time because we'd be hanging out. We'd go there like 4 nights a week, 5 nights a week. We hang out, you hang out, you hang out. You become friends with the booker. The owner sees you, you're supporting, you go on. And so if you don't have time to do that, you just don't get thought about. It's nothing personal. It's not like anybody's sitting around going, God, I really miss the people who aren't here. No, they see the people who are in front of them. Same sort of thing when you're booking a show and you want to get booked on a club. The people who constantly email are the people who get the grease, the people who get the support, the people who get the spots. But I just, I haven't done that. And so I don't go up much in LA. But when I do go up in LA, you get like 6 minutes. You get like 6 or 10 minutes, and it's on some show. And it's like, there's 900 people, and like, it's just weird. And because I have a guitar on occasion, or because I don't even play guitar when I do LA anymore, because it's like, I don't want to go last. I hate going last because it's like, I'm tired. I get you, like, let somebody young do it. I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying I don't want to go last. Would like to go up early, but I haven't been there in a while. And it's who's this guy? And I don't know him, and it's new people, and it's new bookers. So it's like, they don't know me. God forbid anybody ever look at a video or do anything, but it's not me being entitled. I'm just saying that's the reality. So I get a gig and it's in Sunnyvale, which is a suburb or close between San Jose and San Francisco. It's, whatever. And I get there and it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Awesome news, awesome news, awesome news. First night of stand up is the night that the nurse guy was killed in Minneapolis. And so, of course, it's heavy on everyone's head. So everyone is drained because you can't not watch that constantly. You can't escape it. It's everywhere. It's sad. I'm not getting into it. You have your opinion. I have mine. I think the whole thing sucks. I think it's terrible. I'm sorry that person lost their life. All of it sucks. All of it sucks. And so I have now like, ta-da, make us dance and laugh, comedy monkey. So I get up there and I do my thing. I struggled in the first night because I was using my old notes and oops, now you know where my microphone is. I struggled because I didn't have anything in order and I just kind of thought I could wing it. Because normally I can just get up and talk for an hour like I'm doing now because it's pretty simple. So I maneuvered through and I was fine. I did okay. But the crowd was so tight. They were so genuinely sad. And I don't talk about politics at all. I failed at it. I'm not as educated as I should be when it comes to talking about that. I just don't talk about it. I talk about my jokes. I'm like, oh, I put a gold chain around my junk and I call him a Dick Cheney. Like that's as crazy as I get. Or that's it. And then, so I go up and I go on for like 3 separate days of being on the road. And when you're on the road, you're just like, you're in that mindset. It's you versus the world. You're by yourself. And it's totally different than I used to be because I used to party, excuse me, quite a bit, quite extensively. And by party, I mean, I'd be open to whatever. Somebody comes up after the show. Hey man, you want some weed? Sure. Stranger. Hey man, do you want to try this? Sure. Stranger. Hey, do you want to come to my house? Sure. Stranger. Now I'm like, stand back. I'm good. No thanks. Some guy comes up to me and goes, hey buddy, do you want a 200 milligram pot cookie? I was like, I don't. And he's like, it'll give you the greatest trip of your life. I'm like, I'm good. And he wouldn't stop talking to me. So I took the cookie. I gave it to one of the people at the club. I'm like, do you guys know this guy who comes in? And they're like, oh, yeah, he's got the best drug cookies. Take them. I don't really do it. I don't do it unless I'm in pain. But 200 milligrams in a cookie from a stranger, I'm gonna pass. I'm not doing that. So, but I got to do stand up and I got to perform and I got to do so many things that I forgot I was good at. I have done stand up for so long that I've missed it. And it felt great to get back in there and it felt amazing to do the things that I haven't done. And I put stuff together and I was piecing new bits and I had ideas and all of these different thoughts that I've written down for months and I just was trying them. And I'm doing comedy now in a different way that I've always done because I try to evolve. I try to be a student of the game. And I try to just do my best, but I try to do things like now, like where I'll try to do the same exact punchline to 2 different jokes back to back. Like I do this thing now where I tell people, hey, everybody, I'm going to do these next 2 jokes. This is the punchline I want you to know in advance. And it's going to make the punchline the second time I do it funnier, but you're going to know it's coming. You're going to anticipate it and it's going to work. And if you tell people that, they're like, huh? But then if you have the confidence to do that and then you do these jokes and it works, it's fucking amazing. And I also try to do things where like I have one joke as an example. The rest you'll have to come see me live when you want to see the new stuff where I say, where I do the whole joke that where the setup is the same as the punchline. And that's interesting to me because it's different and it's a joke. It's like, people who collect action figures don't get any action figures. And I love that. I love that it's a pun, it's wordplay, it's a different approach, and it's the same thing. And it's just a unique thing that I haven't done. And it's just a different way to do comedy. And I love it. And so I'm doing different things. And when you're on the road, like, it's like you're at a different hotel. This weekend, I lived at some place called The Wild at something. It was a Hyatt in San Jose. And it was a pet hotel, so my room smelled like wet dog, which is great to live in for 3 days of wet dog. You love it. And it was too cold to really go outside a bunch, so I had to wet dog it. And it's not the funnest. You want to change rooms, maybe get wet cat. So I stayed with wet dog for 3 days, and I was just pretty chill. And I had plans to go to San Francisco until one of my friend Lauren, who's done the show a couple of times recently, was like, oh yeah, do you want to go to San Francisco? And I talked to one of the opening comedians were really funny, Geneva and Connor. I said, how long is it going to take me to do this for this period of time? She's like 6 hours. I'm like, plop, pass. And then I just couldn't sleep. And it was like, it worked out perfectly that I couldn't sleep because I was too tired. And I'm hoping to sleep tonight. But again, I've got this energy. So I decided to do a pod and just talk because I love my people. I had an Uber driver who was very interesting. She picked me up for the show. And she goes, she's like, where are you from? And I'm from Michigan originally. She's like, I could tell. I'm like, yeah, it's because I'm wearing a jacket. This is Detroit. And she goes, no, just your face. It's going to be a long ride. I just know it's going to be a long ride. And she's like, COVID was on purpose. Here we go. All right. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. And I just smile and yeah. And she's like, I drive all these big tech guys. And she's like, these big tech guys are doing things where they're betting on things and making things happen so they can make money. Like 6 or 7 people made a lot of money on COVID. Like I think a lot more people made money on COVID. The mask people made a lot of money on COVID. The COVID test people made a lot of money on COVID. But I don't say this. I'm just like, And she's like, who's going to replace us? Robots. Oh man. And I just like, I found myself looking at my phone to see how much further it was between there and the place. And I'm like, it's got to be close. It's not. It wasn't close. It was still a few miles away. And she's like, the 10,000 automated autonomous vehicles are going to be replacing us. Do you know that we'll be lucky if we eat bugs? Do you like bugs? I've had a beetle before. It wasn't bad. She pauses. Are you one of them? I'm like, one of what? She's like, one of the movement, one of the resistance. I'm like, no, I'm from Michigan. And she's like, okay. So then she pulls into the place and she parks and she turns around and she lock eyes me. And she starts talking and I'm so fucking polite. And I'm listening to this lady and I'm like, okay, all right. She's going to stop talking at some point. She didn't. No talking, stopping here. Not a chance. She just kept going and going. I was like, lady, I got to go. And she goes, hold on. Like she was so confident that she was going to tell me more about the bugs and the aliens and the people and the autonomous vehicles and the robots. And I just like, maybe she's right. I not now. I want to go. So I'm like, I got to go. So she kept talking. I just got out of the car. I'm like, thank you. And she's like, bye, sweetie. And I was like, cool. We had a good thing. People are interesting. People are definitely interesting. It's just it's a unique story. Like we were all a little bonkers out there in the world. And it gave me sass. Like when I got back to the hotel, I was hungry and like I'm not gonna eat. I haven't been eating because of just, the fat guy meds. And again, whatever, not saying anything. So I get impatient. And I think I have an old man's impatience and an old man's patience at the same time. It's weird. When you get older, you get you become more patient, but you also at the same time become impatient. So the hotel, this is the first time playing at this club. The club pays for the hotel. That's what they do. They put a card on the file and you've got to pay for incidentals. What the hotel's paid for. So, I'm not gonna buy food and put it on the card. I'm just not. So I get there and I say, I want to charge. I want to, the night before I got a candy bar, and then the next day I'm like, okay, well this is a new kid, and this is a kid. He's at the front desk, and he's a young kid, and he's got dark glasses on, and he's got the coolest hair. He's got like this hair over his eyes. It's like this young, cool. He's like this cool hip Asian kid, glasses, hair over his eyes. He's just cool. Everything about this kid was cool. But he and I were at an impasse. He's like, I go, I need to charge. I'm like, I want to use a credit card. I need to get a Kit Kat. And he goes, well, he's like, there's 2 cards on file. I go, okay, well, I can't use the one on file because it's the owner's. I'm like, maybe it's the one from yesterday. Do you know the number? He's like, I don't know the number. Like, you don't know the number? He goes, no. And I'm like, all right, well, I don't want to use it. I want to use this one. He goes, well, I don't have the ability to put a 3rd card on the account. I'm like, okay. Well, how much is it? He goes, it's $3. I'm like, well, here's $3. He's like, we don't take cash. I'm like, all right, here's the deal, friend. I want this Kit Kat. I'm going to have this Kit Kat. I have $3 in US currency. which is legal. You have to take it. Even if you say you don't take cash. And he's like, we don't take cash. I want this Kit Kat. Okay, well, I can charge to the card that's on the computer. No, I am not charging a card that is not mine. And you cannot tell me what the other one is. Well, I can't tell you what it is. He goes, you could just, you could use it. What is wrong with you? I'm trying to use this credit card here and you're not letting me. He's like, listen, man, I'm not doing it. And I said, can you call a manager? And he's like, no, I can't call a manager. There's not one on. So I take my $3 and I put it down. And I said, well, then here's $3. I took my Kit Kat and I left. And there was no words from this kid. He didn't fight me. We weren't going to fight over a Kit Kat. I wasn't going to not have this Kit Kat. He wasn't going to not tell me. And he goes, 0916. And I was like, what? It was 0916. Those are the last 4 digits of the card. And I made those card numbers up. And I'm like, okay. And I open my wallet and I look at my card and it's the one I used yesterday. I go, yes, finally. And I walk back, I take the $3 and I keep the Kit Kat. I go, charge it. I'm sorry. I'm jonesing for some chocolate. Kid goes, I understand, sir. And then we were friends, not best friends. He didn't come hang out. We'll probably never talk again. We got through the transaction through impatience and through sass. I have to say I got two things I got to say. One of my favorite bands of all time is the Lemonheads. They just are my all-time, one of my I my songwriting style is so influenced by them. My comedy is influenced by them. So many things in my life have been shaped by the record It's a Shame About Ray. The album, the whole thing, like start to finish, it goes on. It begins with "Takes me on a rockin' stroll," and I loved this band. And then it goes to "You kinda shoulda sorta woulda loved her," then "It's a shame about Ray," and then Rudderless and My Drug Buddy, and then Turnpike Down, and Bit Part, and Alice is Starting to Happen, and Hannah and Gabby, and Kitchen, and Ceiling Fan, and My Spoon, and Frank Mills. All of them. I love all of them. And on the bonus, re-release bonus, when I put Mrs. Robinson on there, I grew up loving this band. I knew nothing about it because there was no real internet stuff to tell me all this stuff. And whatever year came out, I think 93, 92, I think 92 it came out. But I was obsessed. Everything, it was just oh my gosh, I can't tell you how much of my songwriting was just I would sit there for hours. It was oops. The whole thing, I just never been too good with names. I loved it. I was obsessed. It was just such an incredible song. And oh my gosh, what's the other one? I loved it so much. It was, I don't even know if I can play it. I'm going to have to check the chords real quick. Let's see. Let's see if I got it. It's not here. I don't think I have it, but I'll try to play it. I'll try to play it by memory. It's she's coming over. Oops. She's coming over. We'll go out walking. Make a call. Make a call. Nope. Make a call on the way. Yeah, that's it. Anyways, so my friend Steve Taylor, who I love and is my brother, tells me, "Oh, dude, you got to read the new Evan Dando book." And I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And I started listening to it, and Evan Dando is reading it. He's the guy reading it. And, I think I briefly talked about this last week, but he's talking about it. And he's going through the stories. And it turns out that he was this spoiled rich kid. And it totally, completely changes the vibe of the record for me. And he was talking about all these drugs he was doing, but he's telling all the stories of all these songs. And the stories are fascinating. This guy was just a fuck up, a really good looking, good songwriting fuck up. And he would talk about how their first hit was a cover of Luca. And I remember hearing it much after the first one and how like It's a Shame About Ray was actually their fifth major label debut. And just hearing the story of the songs is really cool. And hearing just about all this guy did was drugs and write these songs. And he was obsessed with Manson. But one of the coolest things I noticed, one of the absolute coolest things to me was in the song in It's a Shame About Ray. In the chorus, it's like, it's a shame about Ray. And then in the background, you're Shay Shay by like, and I never had any idea what it was. And I was on the plane today. Uh, um, Shady Shay. No, what's the guy's name? I don't know. It's something like that. But he was this stunt guy. It wasn't Shady. I have to look it up now, so I'm not like making one. Shady Shay stunt man Manson murdered. His name Shetty? No, Shetty Shay. Shetty Shay. Shetty Shay. Anyways, Shetty Shay was this guy who lived at the Spawn Ranch, and he was buddies with Mr. Spawn, I guess, and he was afraid that the Manson family was taking advantage of him, so he like got into fights with them and beat up some of them, and eventually a million Manson people murdered him in 1969, and his body was found in 9 different pieces in 1977. So anyways, it was an evil thing that happened to this guy. And so Evan, who was, this rich kid who, grew up in Martha's Vineyard or Boston, and it was, family had a ton of money and all this stuff. He was obsessed with Manson, and he decided to put it into the thing. And Julianne Hatfield sings it on the record. And anytime I've heard it for 20 plus years, I'm like, what the fuck is this? I never even thought about it. Turns out it's that just randomly putting in the murdered name or the murdered person of a guy who was opposed to the Manson family. And it's straight up evil. And it's in this song. And I guess It's a Shame About Ray was a headline from something and like the majority of the record was written in Australia about different things. And I also thought for the longest time, because he was a crazy sleepwalker, that in Turnpike Down, that I always thought it was just butterfly people mock my path down. I'm like, oh, this weird motherfucker. He probably was seeing all these butterfly people taunt him when he was asleep. But in actuality, he was like, butterscotch street lamps, mock my path down. When he's talking about the Turnpike Down. Hilarious. During the show this week, I got to see, I also remembered a song that I haven't done. I'll play it to end us in a sec. But I got to see a friend of mine on a date, and my friend has gone through some shit, and I got to see her on a date. She was so happy, and they were all hand-holdy and canoodling, and this friend had a couple of drinks and was all happy and snoogy, and I loved it for her. It was really cool, and I hope the guy's a good dude, and it was great. So congrats, buddy. Congrats, folks. Do your thing. But I forgot about this song, and I'll play it to get out of here. And just, so I could do it. Kit Kat Story told it. Netflix is a joke fest. Didn't really talk about that. Netflix is a joke. Yeah, I guess if you're young and interesting, you're going to get on. You're going to do stuff. So good for you. Let's see. I forgot about this song. I forgot this. This is Passive Aggressive Lullaby. And it went over huge. I totally forgot about this. It goes, close your eyes, bitch, go to sleep. Asking you, go to bed. Please put down your fucking phone. It's time to rest your head. This is Passive Aggressive Lullaby. This song's about me. If you don't shut your eyes pretty soon, I'll hit you with a fucking TV. Close your eyes, bitch, go to sleep. 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 See you next week, cousins. That was a Lemonhead song, basically. It's basically what a Lemonhead song would be. Oh, I love the Lemonheads. If you like Evan Dando, read the book.